Hello guys, welcome to this week's Canon news. I hope you're having a great week. Let's get into those news stories right now. Okay, so the first news story we have this week is there are some new firmware updates to the 24-105 f2.8 IS USM-Z lens from Canon, very similar to the ones that have just come out for the 100-300 as well, which is designed primarily to improve autofocus performance with that lens. It does state here is improved AF tracking or still photography when used with specific cameras, and there is an asterisk here, so it's worth going on Canon's site to actually see if your Canon camera will benefit from these updates or not. And enhanced smoothness on AF tracking during zoom operations in video recording. So if you've got this lens, definitely check it out, have a look at what cameras it actually supports, and get your lens updated. Okay, the next story is to do with third-party RF lenses. Canon is still not being massively open about what is going to happen in the future. It's obviously going to happen at some point, it has to. Because even though Canon do make actually a very wide range of RF mounted lenses now, people still want those more budget options like the original 150-600. That was a lens that pretty much most people I know used that as their first sort of wildlife lens, and there's nothing Canon can kind of make that will compete price wise to that kind of lens. But in a statement from the Vice President at CP Plus, other companies have begun to release several RF lenses, but we have no knowledge of what types of lenses they will release. We only know they have been released. We can't disclose any contents of contracts such as licenses to the public, but right now all I can say is we are deciding the contents of contracts within our business strategy. It goes on to follow with, we are communicating with third-party manufacturers, and I think we are more than halfway there in terms of communication. So I think there is definitely stuff on the way. They're just obviously going through with these third parties. You can assume obviously people like Sigma and Tamron, as they've already released RF APS-C lenses, that they want to make sure they're releasing the right stuff. So not just releasing everything and stuff that will directly potentially compete with stuff that Canon already make. They probably want stuff, say like the 150-600 sport lens, the new 300-600, that sort of thing is probably what they want, rather than maybe a 70-200 f2.8. They maybe not want that to compete with their options now that they have for that lens. But we will see, time will tell. It's obviously going to happen at some point, it's just a matter of waiting. So we also have a new camera rumour. We obviously just had the Canon V1 launched in Asia, which is meant to be coming out in Europe part way through the year. But there's also now a rumour of a V3, which is going to be very similar to the G3X in quality zoom, compact camera, same sensor that's been seen on the newly released V1. So this is going to be sort of more, again, designed at that videographer, someone who wants to vlog, that kind of thing. It's not going to be particularly designed for a photographer's kind of camera, but it will have the capabilities obviously of having that sort of stuff built into it still. So if you were about want to do a thumbnail, or you want to just capture the moment while you're out somewhere, you will have that functionality too. Again, not something I'm going to really be covering on this channel, but it's good to keep you in the loop of what's coming through. And finally, we're still waiting for news on the firmware updates on the R1 and R5 Mark II. These are the ones that we were meant to be getting during CP Plus, but they haven't been announced yet. Looking through the article here, there's only a couple of bits that kind of really stuck out. There's a few bug fixes required for the R1. The main one though I saw was there's R5 Mark II shooters complaining about battery performance in moderate to cold conditions. The camera will show as fully charged, but the camera will die instantly, and the way to correct that is take the battery out and reinstall it. That would be a very frustrating one if you are out in the wild. You had a animal sat there, you're going to try and take the photo, and then suddenly, pop, your camera's saying it doesn't work properly. So there are definitely updates that need to be fixed. Obviously, Canon is 100% going to be aware of them, but yeah, we'll just have to wait to see when they come out. What would you like to see from these updates? So those are this week's top news stories from the past 7 days. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you looking forward to these Canon updates? What do you want to see in these Canon updates? That's a big one too. Is there anything you've seen that I've missed? Put it down in the comments below and I can have a look at it myself. But if you are enjoying the content on the channel, please drop a subscribe, like the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for always, and goodbye.